Hi, I'm Katie Couric, and welcome to Eye to Eye. The controversy over Don Imus's racially charged comments is playing out in the echo chamber of the World Wide Web. And the result is often more offensive than the words that started this internet tempest. Our Daniel Sieberg asked BuzzMachine founder Jeff Jarvis if it's time to start reining in the web's open forum.
Jeff, do you think people would be surprised by the vitriol or the comments they see on certain blog sites or elsewhere on the internet?
I think only if you and media draw their attention to it. The truth is that there are wonderful things across the 70 million blogs out there. But it's funny how we end up with stories just about the bad ones that come along once in a while. I think that's the real problem here.
What drives people to say things that are hurtful or hateful online?
What drives them to say it offline? There are bad people and nasty people in real life. You know, the internet is not a medium. It's not a show that you can edit and sanitize for our protection and put a bow on. The internet is a place. It's a place where we all live. And in any given town, there are people with bad tempers who need their meds. But you know what we do? We tend to ignore them, and we talk to the people we want to talk to. And that's the way the internet works, too.
Should there be rules or guidelines for what people are allowed to say online?
I think that sounds an awful lot like censorship, and I would hate to see that. I'm a great believer in the First Amendment. I have my own rules about what I say, and I have rules about what people say on my site. If there's an abusive comment, I'll kill it in a second. But you know what? That happens very, very rarely. The rules are all our own. The rules in real life are the same as the rules in virtual life. You treat people civilly, and if you don't, we know who the bozos are. When we see someone who mistreats someone else, we all know that. We don't need someone to put a stamp on them and say, there's the bozo.
Should larger websites, though, like, say, YouTube, for example, be policing some of the hateful or hurtful comments? Because we've seen some very racist remarks about, say, someone like Barack Obama posted on YouTube where his official video is.
Most large sites I know, and a lot of small sites, do police what they have. They tend to do it when the members of the community say, would you please get rid of this for us? It operates like a police force in a town. But you can't sanitize the whole world. You can't clean up everything. There are going to be miscreants and bad people around, and we all know to step around them.
Do you think that some people post these hurtful or hateful comments simply for a shock value?
People like attention, but the problem is they're getting attention, again, more from media than from us, the people. If I come across a blog that's dumb, abusive, angry, I don't read it again. That's it. I wouldn't have read these bad comments except I've been seeing them over and over and over again in the New York Times and now on CBS and throughout media. And I think that's the problem. You're ignoring the majority of the internet. It's like saying that because there's one bad TV show out there, then this must be bad too because it's TV. Or because someone misuses a telephone once, everything on the telephone is bad. It's just illogical.
What crosses the line for you in terms of comments that are made on blogs or online?
Same thing that crosses the line at a party when somebody's had too much to drink. If they're abusive to someone else, if they're telling lies, if they're just so far off topic that they're ruining the conversation. I don't like any of those things in a blog, and so I try to go around it.
Do you think it's possible to enforce a sort of a code of ethics or guidelines for bloggers?
No, I think that each of us has our own code of ethics, and I don't need anyone else to impose one upon me. My mother and father gave me my code of ethics, thank you very much, and so I don't need somebody on the internet to say what I should be doing. I have my own codes, I have my own rules about transparency in my blog, and what I tolerate and what I write about, and what I recommend, and that's up to me, and I think that's true in life too. Yes, there are all rules and laws in the land. If you abuse someone or if you threaten them or if you libel them, the law will affect you the same way offline as on. But when it comes to just simply ethics of how we treat other people, that's each of our own golden rules.
If you go to the YouTube site, the Don Imus video is there with his comments, and then below that are a lot of comments that are, far more hateful and hurtful than what he said.
Well, you didn't have to go just to the YouTube site to see the Don Imus comments. Jon Stewart did a great montage of every online reporter loving to say it again and again and again and again. Yes, the comments below that may be hateful and hurtful, but why read them? Why go through them? No one's forcing you to. If some bozo in town wants to say that, they say it. Free speech comes with a price, and that is the price. People are going to say things we don't like, but I would far rather have that in our society than to try to stop people from having the freedom to speak, to stop me and you from saying what we want to say. That is the real price of free speech, and it's well worth paying.